So I don't trust this Bitcoin bounce, and I know I've been saying this. This bounce could potentially take us to 65,000, but this is what trading is about. If you look back on my update here in the channel yesterday, I said that I'm waiting for this 61,800-ish region to get hit and then see a reversal from there. Now the problem is that that level did get hit, but there was no real strong reaction from there. I mean, we did bounce about 3% from that level, but there is no market structure shift, there is no impulsive move, there is no imbalances created. I was thinking something like this that would have been able to push us all the way above there, but that didn't happen. All it did is came back to this level down here as I've been expecting, relative equal lows. It took that, came back into this point of interest. First of all, it didn't bounce. We're going to talk about that in a second. But also, it's just grinding back up after an elevator down. So I do not trust this bounce. I told you yesterday that I've closed my long positions, that I have basically at break even. So like this position is, so basically at break even, making about $8 and losing about 100. So I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about what I'm actually looking at and where I might even short this. We also have SpaceX IPO coming tomorrow. Bunch of things to talk about. Let's get going. If you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗏𝗏. I do these updates every single day. Been here since 2016. 5 to 10 minutes. If you don't have that, you might as well just stop watching this. And if you do have 5 to 10 minutes to create financial freedom, well, join the 40,863 subscribers that we have right here. So on the update, these are designs that you have to come back every day, right? So yesterday I said, I'm actually long. I do think that this level will hold and I'm going to take a long position. The reason, even yesterday I've been saying here in the community that stocks getting hammered, BTC holding well, nothing changed from the update. But then one thing did change, and that is that we didn't have any 5 or 15 minute higher high formed. So it's very important to note that a couple of things. If I go down to the higher time frame, when in doubt, always go into the higher time frame, right? When in doubt, zoom out. So if I go down here, this is extremely bearish. We might retrace the 66,000 mark, but ultimately this is a bearish chart. Go down to the 4 hour, same story, right? So we do have some built-in liquidity on the top, but ultimately it's just screaming lower. Go down into the 1 hour, and then I look at the 1 hour chart and I see that there is a seemingly interesting order block here that pushed and created imbalances, that pushed very, very high, right? There was imbalances that needed to be filled, and an impulsive move to the upside, and then elevator up, staircase down. But then there is no 3 consecutive candles on the hourly. So I go down to the 15 minute and I go, okay, well, on the 15 minute, there is a clear 3-4 candle to the downside. So this here is the 15 minute bottom. We had a market structure shift up here, 50% retrace. We had a continuation up there, 4-point structure established, right? So you do have the 15 minute trend. So ultimately, there should be no break below this level, but there is. So unfortunately, the ethos that I was expecting this not to come back failed. And this is why I said yesterday, like, even though here I was very bullish and I was like, yeah, it's just coming down to the OB, we're going to have a market structure shift. It broke below the previous level, closed below there, and slowly grind its way back up into this higher time frame or 15-minute hourly order block. Also important to note that on the hourly, it rejected from a very strong order block up here, right? So this whole rejection is coming off of a 1 hour and even 4 hour higher time frame order block, which means that there is massive selling pressure here and the market is telling you that it wants to go lower. So I have closed my long position and I am looking to possibly take a short. Now here's what I'm thinking. One, there is the SpaceX IPO happening tomorrow. It will be a massive liquidity event. I do believe that SpaceX, even though on the long run, I believe SpaceX is going to do extremely well, I think on a short term, when I say short term, 6 to 12 months down the line, I think it's going to be trading 30-40% lower than 135. So we'll see how it goes. But the launch price, probably, maybe not 135, but the close of the day tomorrow when the IPO happens, I think we're trading below that about 30, 40, 50%, about, max 6 to 12 months down the line. So I'm not placing any attention to that. But what it can do or will do is the whole liquidity sweep that is going to happen. If Bitcoin were to fall at the same time, people would start selling off their Bitcoin, potentially getting into SpaceX IPO, or they just realize like, what the hell I'm doing? I could have been invested in SpaceX, whatever. So, although not much relevance, but still something to consider. TLDR, what I'm thinking is, one, I still believe we could see a retrace back to the 50%, right? I mean, this is still a level that I'm interested at for a heavy short towards sub 59, if that happens. I don't know if it happens. We'll see. But what can also happen is that if you look at the daily chart, I mean, the next level down here is like this. I mean, 52, right? So we can just start seeing 52 become a reality, especially as Trump coming out and saying that he's going to bomb Iran and da. So ultimately, I'm looking at two things. One, if I see a 5-minute market structure shift anywhere up here, which is, we're basically there, right? So below this level, below 64,217. If I see a market structure shift anywhere here in a 5-minute, that would look something like this, bam, 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 lower low. I am going to take a short position here, right? So that means that, I mean, currently that is sitting here, right here at about 62,545, and my stop loss will be up here at 64,300, right? So once I see a 5-minute market structure shift, I'm going to take a small position. If I see a 15-minute market structure shift, I'm going to go bigger into a short position. And if it just keeps going up, I mean, I'm happy to let it go. I know I was long and whatever here at like 62,000, but I'm happy to let it go. I'm happy to let it ride all the way up to 66, whatever. I have been also thinking about buying back spot this week. That didn't happen. So I didn't buy back spot. I think I was expecting a much stronger bounce from this level. So I'm not in a rush to start getting back. As you know, if you've been on the channel, you know that I've sold majority of my stuff in October 18th. What is this whole thing here? I'm teaching AI. So up here at October 18th. So even Bitcoin is down about 44% since. But if I look at something like Solana, and I look at this and I go, okay, I sold on October 18th up here. I mean, Solana is down 70% since my sell. So I'm not in a rush to get back in, but I am thinking about, starting layering back. I think we're very close to a bottom. And I do think that we can rally into the summer. The question really is, does that rally actually comes from here? And we start this rally from this bottom, or it has another flush down here, taking all the liquidity, and then an impulsive bounce back with a V-shaped recovery and then go higher. So I don't really trust this Bitcoin bounce anymore. We'll see where it goes. I'll keep you posted, obviously. Two things. One, join in the community. There is a link in the description. And another thing that I wanted to tell you, two more things, super important. One of them is that July 1st is the deadline when MiCA becomes effective. It gets grandfathered, which means that if you're in the EU, and there are so crazy regulations in the EU in certain countries, if you're in the EU, you still can use non-KYC exchanges that are offshore and whatnot. But if you want to be compliant and you want to report taxes and you want to do all that, you will need a MiCA compliant exchange. And I would recommend you check out Gate. So they reached out to us. I've been using them for a long time. They have been a little bit of like off the chart for me. They've been like, Gate, and then they became, sponsors in F1, and they really ramped up their legitimacy. So they became like a proper tier 1 exchange. And they do have Gate a EU with MiCA license. They are obviously, as I said, also sponsors in Formula 1, so there is massive amount of due diligence that goes on there. There's a link in the description to sign up to Gate, Gate EU and Gate Global, and you can check them out. And again, if you want to make sure to look up what the jurisdiction that you're currently in the EU, and if you need a MiCA compliant exchange, I think this could be a great opportunity. You also get 10% off of the fees if you sign up using our link in the description. So go and do that. And another thing I wanted to tell you is please still go and complete the survey. There is still a link in the description to the survey. We want to know more about you. We're building something amazing, but I want to know what you're doing. We have over 1,000 people who filled it out already, but we need 2,000-3,000 people to be very sure about our thing. Guys, truly appreciate every single one of you. Link in the description to Gate. If you're in EU, I think you must have a MiCA compliant exchange. Go and check that out. Fill out the survey. Join in the Telegram. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.